Hello, so I'm gonna try this again. I started this video and I look and see that it had stopped on its own because I had run out of space on my phone, so deleted a bunch of things and trying again. So, doing a recap of things. One of the things I mentioned was that yesterday I took 30,000 steps, which is a lot. The recommended amount for my app is 8,000, so I did pretty good with 30,000. Yeah, and I could feel it. I was really hoping that rubbed some biofreeze on my feet and kept them elevated all night, and just hoping that I'd wake up and they'd be awesome. And I woke up and put my feet on the floor and they were tender. So, but then again, I'm not so young anymore, so my feet don't recover like they used to. But that's just the regular tenderness. It's nothing like what happened to me when I first got here. So I was doing okay. Put my feet in those special wraps that Kiku gave me. Actually, they're right here. They're special from the hospital only. In fact, she just went to the doctor last week and got a whole bunch of fresh new ones. So she gave me a whole nother pack. So that was a lot of walking and getting ready for another day to do it again. So I had to meet early at the train station. I didn't get much sleep, but what can I say? I gotta make it through the day. So we were taking the 8:05 train to Arashiyama. That's where we spent today. And it wasn't just Kiku. Maria, who I also met the same time I met Kiku when they were in Atlanta last year for the Grassroots Summit. She joined us today, and she's also studying English. So between the three of us, we figured out everything we were trying to say. And let's see. So yes, we got on the train, and I got there a little early so I could go to Mr. Donuts and get some awesome donuts. Need something to power me through the day. So we get to Arashiyama and come out, and there's just these big old trains, just sitting out there. I guess vintage trains, and so took a couple pictures of those, and then continued on, and we went to the bamboo forest, which is the bamboo groves. It's really awesome. It's this pathway through what really just feel like a forest, but it's bamboo. So it's bamboo is actually a grass, so it's a forest of massive, huge grass. But it's really well maintained and just like everything here. And it was really cool to walk through all that stuff and just take pictures and see all this beautiful green. And then let's see, we went from bamboo groves, went to walk through a couple little temples that I guess little shrines that were set up. I asked, what's the difference between a temple and a shrine? All these such and such ji or dera, those are all temples. And anything that's a temple has to do with Buddha. And anything that is a shrine has to do with some god. So they're two different things. So I was glad I got clarification on that. So we walked through a bunch of different shrines. And then we went to Gio-ji, and that's a small little temple that's part of, I guess, like this really famous kind of story. Woman, a heartbroken woman who goes and secludes herself and becomes a nun, pretty much. It's a lot more elegant than that, but I'm not getting into the whole story. So that was really nice, and it's amazing just what they can do with moss here. I kind of feel like if I had a yard, especially the front yard, yeah, let's just cover that with beautiful moss, and make it look like they do. Of course, they've got someone in here all day, every day, picking up every errant, dead leaf, dirt that shouldn't be where it is. It's all cleaned up, and you know, groomed to perfection, pruned to perfection. So yeah, it'd be nice to have it, but I need the person that cleans it up to come with it. But I had to touch the moss. It's so super soft. I almost felt like I could lay down and take a nap. Didn't hurt that I was really sleepy. Every time I sat down for a little while, I had to make sure I got back up before I just fell asleep where I was. And the other day when I hadn't slept, I almost fell asleep standing up. I was on the train holding onto the little handrail thing that come from the top, and all of a sudden I just felt my whole body shake. My knees had started to give out on me because I'd fallen asleep standing up. That didn't happen again. That was a shock. Anyhow, okay, so back to today. So today, okay, so after Gio-ji, we decided to walk to, let me make sure I get the name of this right, Kameyama Park, Kameyama Koen, and it's a hilltop park. And on the way we were walking there, we went by, they thought it was Basho. He's a famous Japanese poet. They thought it was his house, but it wasn't. Turns out it was the house of one of his disciples, and his disciple's name was Rakushisha residence. And right in front of that is an area that I should remember the name of it, and I don't. When we first walked up to it, I was like, okay, there's a bunch of rectangular areas of grass, and they're all like different levels. And I was like, what are these? You know, is this plots for new homes, or is this for like they plant rice? I have no idea. And because it was all just brown, well, not brown, but it was just kind of weeds and brown grass. Turns out that during the spring, it's covered with lots of beautiful, beautiful flowers. And I just came too late in the year to see it. And I'm assuming that once the flowers are gone, they kind of let it go. And then they just cultivate it, I guess, at some point to prepare it for the next year. So I'll have to come back so I can see it next year. Or see it in the spring. And and also on our way to the park, Kameyama Park, we stopped, and there's a beautiful lookout point where you can look and see Arashiyama. Arashiyama is a mountain. So you can see Arashiyama, and then you can see the Hozu River that comes down. You can see the boats that have people on them, you know, the passenger boats that have the coverings. As they're bringing people down on tours down the river. On the boats that have the covering over them, you can eat on those. Those are pretty cool. And then right alongside where that point is, you can see the romantic train, the Sagano romantic train that goes past. However, the train was not running today. And it's a good thing that we knew that, because as we were looking at the lookout point, Kiku struck up a conversation with an Australian couple next to us, and they said they were there waiting for the train to come by to get pictures. So we informed them that they should stop wasting their time because that train's not coming. And they were kind of disappointed because their grandson is really into trains, so that's why they wanted to take the pictures. But then I told them, hey, right at the exit of the south exit of the Arashiyama station, there's a museum of vintage trains, so you can go get even better pictures, and he'll love that. So that was pretty cool. Being around Kiku, we ended up with conversations with a bunch of just random people, and that's kind of cool. So from there we went, we actually made it to Kameyama Park, and then we walked down from there to I'm going to make sure I say the name of this bridge properly. Togetsu-kyo. 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 Yeah, bridge. I'm going to work on that one on my own so it just flows like it's supposed to. So that's a really central landmark. You walk across the bridge and it'll take you over to, what's the name of this thing? Monkey Park, Iwatayama. I'm not going to the monkey park. I will walk up to it. In fact, when we were walking to Kameyama Park, they were like, keep an eye out for monkeys. You see them, you know, don't look them in the eye, and just all these other rules. And I was like, there's a reason I didn't want to go where the monkeys are. It's like they're cute on TV and at a distance, but up close and personal, I don't want to deal with monkeys. Especially these are wild monkeys that come down out of the forest during the day and then go back to the forest at night. I don't need any little animal deciding to steal my cell phone or any other device, or deciding they want a bag. I mean, the deer were bad enough, and the deer were, you know, compared to monkeys when they go crazy, no. Even just the tiniest little monkey can jack you up. Plus, just diseases and who knows what from scratches and bites, and I might not be, you know, like outbreak, pandemic level illness. I still don't want even the slightest little scratch or, no. So, we did not go as far as the monkey park, and thankfully, I didn't see any. So from there, we decided to stop and eat because we were hungry, and had a lovely meal at a little shop, and then walked around a little bit. So we left there and went where I wanted to go, which is the Kimono Forest, which is back behind a different train station in Arashiyama. And it's gorgeous. I took video, so that'll be on Google Photos, so you can check out that video. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh, and I can't believe I forgot this. As we were leaving Gio-ji, I happened to mention to Maria that I wish I knew more kanji, because like I can read a sign and I can read anything that's in hiragana and katakana, but I can't read most kanji. I know very little kanji. And so she happened to tell me this kanji was for paper. And I was like, wait, is this a paper store? And she's like, yes, go in there. It was awesome being in the shop in the front, and the lady was explaining how, you know, they take the washi paper, the Japanese paper, and, you know, tear off a piece and twist it to make the paper wire, which is what is used to make a lot of those other pictures, those awesome, you know, pieces that are all these, look like shiny wire, but it's paper. She was explaining that and just looking at all the beautiful things in there. I took video in there too. And then she takes me in the back, and I almost started crying. It was just like beautiful, beautiful papers everywhere. I mean, just stacked. I have pictures. I had a little video that I took in there as well. And come to find out that, I mean, we're looking at these obis, which are the belts that they use with the kimonos. And she's showing us this, and they're made of paper. Obis made of paper. And if I thought that was awesome, she hands me this little sheet that's in English and that explains that the Japanese didn't have cloth. I guess cloth came in with, I don't know, the Europeans, but until that point, all the clothes were made out of paper. Clothes were made out of paper. All these awesome clothes from way back when in Japan are paper. That's incredible. And to touch it, it's so soft and so lightweight. And so she and her family, they tear off the washi paper, they twist it, and then they weave it into clothing. Oh, incredible. That just like made my entire trip to run into that type of situation. I love me some paper crafting. Yes. So So then, after the kimono forest, I wanted something sweet. had to get my sweet on since I had my savory. And then we went to, I'm going to get this name right as well, Tenryu-ji temple. And this place was, the garden of this place is incredible. The temple is, you know, itself is not that big, but then it's got this awesome garden that goes up into Arashiyama, goes up into the mountain. So walking through there was really, really amazing. I mean, you'd think I get tired of seeing just amazing garden after amazing garden after amazing garden, but I don't. It's you just want to sit and just relax. Some people would just sit and just kind of meditate or whatever, just in the peace and quiet. And because it was an overcast and slightly rainy day, it wasn't that crowded. And because we started so early in the day, we missed most of the crowd, so it was just nice. Ended up, I heard a young lady next to me talking, you know, she was hoping to plug in her phone, and of course they don't let you plug in your phone and charge things places. And I happened to be charging mine on my little portable charger, so I let her use mine, so we just kind of sat for a while with her and her group that were from Hong Kong. That was really nice to just talk to them and find out what their trips are like. And and then while we were walking through, saw there's this plot of land that, not that big, but a house was being built. Just a, kind of two-story house. And not that big. And so I asked Maria and Kiku about how much that house would cost. And they said probably around 100 million yen, which is somewhere in the area of like $10 million. For, I mean, that's insane. But I guess land is at a premium here because you're on a tiny island. So if you can take up that much space and build a house, I mean, it's crazy how expensive that is. That was just mind-blowing. So then we left, as we were leaving Tenryu-ji temple. Maria had to leave as we got to the temple, so it was just Kiku and I. Ended up going right past another paper store. And so going there, and she's got all kinds of washi paper. And she's explaining to me how they do all these amazing prints. It's silkscreen. And she actually showed me her, kind of handmade silkscreen. I asked her if she made the prints. She was like, no. She doesn't make the prints. She sells them. But I got pictures of a lot of those prints because they're absolutely gorgeous. I've had a lot of self-control in not buying a bunch of paper, especially because I'd be afraid I'd, bend it or tear it or something before I got it back home. And then what am I going to do with these awesome papers except maybe cover my entire wall of all my walls in my house with gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Who knows? That's an idea. Maybe next time. And so Kiku and I came back to Kyoto after that, and we went to what she said is the top, I was going to say top ramen. The #1 ramen shop the most famous ramen shop in Kyoto, which is right around the corner from Kyoto Station. And actually, I pretty much walk past it almost every day. I've been back here to get to Kyoto Station. I just didn't realize it. And the food was incredible. It was really, really awesome. Had that and had gyoza, which is the little pot stickers. And Kiku wanted to come back and see what my guest house looks like because she didn't understand the concept of Airbnb. And so I explained that to her because she's about to head off to London and Paris. So she has more options. But I got back really early, and I'm not going anywhere else today. I'm about to relax and read and put my feet up, maybe watch some stuff on my laptop, and upload this stuff and call it a day. And yeah. So this is my longest video yet. I guess I just had a lot to say. A little chatty. So I guess I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Additional photos and videos on Google Photos in the description.